Hello, Justin here. If you don't know me, I am Justin. I was a student at Western Governors for 6 months, did the Masters of Curriculum and Instruction program, and I like to share information about my journey as well as WGU information that I've discovered along the way. So when I was graduating in December, I had sent some emails to my program mentor because I wanted to know if there's two things that were available to share, and that included any presentations or assignments that I created, as well as any of the course study plans that I found online that are actually open to the public right now. But I kind of wanted to confirm this with them because that course of study plan is quite detailed and actually very telling of what to expect. So I wasn't sure if they were supposed to be posted online. So I had received an email from my course mentor who talked to her program manager, who also talked to their manager. And it was communicated to me that I shouldn't be sharing this information, which I haven't. So just so you know, you have to be careful what you share online. So there are websites, I think it's, I mentioned in another video, there's 𝗀𝗍𝗺𝗀.com, where you can upload your assignments and then have access to other people's assignments. So you would want to only upload assignments that you have permission to do that. So, and from my understanding is Western Governors does not give you permission to do that. According to this email, they have people that are actually looking out for this and making sure that this information isn't posted online, even though people are doing it. I don't know what the penalty is, but I just know that they would not necessarily approve that. And this goes the same for presentations, including my capstone. So my capstone, there was a big presentation at the very end of it that basically walked through my whole study, the purpose, the participants, the findings, the analysis, the conclusion, and it was done in a visual format. There was no oral presentation. But it was said that they do not want me to share that. Now, if you go on YouTube, you can actually find some presentations, final capstones, and I believe there was an oral requirement for some programs like the Masters in Nursing or whatnot. But again, I don't know if they were supposed to be sharing that online. I'm not saying this to kind of put anyone down. It's just for you, just be careful with what you put online because you don't want to be penalized or suspended, or I don't know what the word is in post-secondary, like expelled for doing something you don't want to get in trouble for. So there's these course study plans that are put on by the Western Governors. I mean, if you go to partners.wgu or something like that, they have these transfer agreements between universities. So part of that is that stakeholders or universities or whatnot can look through the courses, and it's almost like a syllabi with a very detailed explanation of the assignments, and sometimes they have links to other to like secondary sources or other sources that are relevant to that course. Now, that seems like a very useful thing to look at prior to even going into a course because you can get a sense of what to expect. But even though it's available, it's not something that they want shared around. And, I'm not sharing you screenshots of this, but what I'm saying is for you to be careful about sharing those documents around because I don't believe that they want that publicly available, which is kind of ironic because it is publicly available. So I don't know if there's a glitch in their system. I think maybe there is some that are uploaded that are outdated and they haven't taken them down, or they haven't changed them to be more concise and less robust and descriptive. So just keep that in mind as well. So overall, I think that there are many of us that do share our experience, and that is perfectly reasonable. It is our experience to share. I suppose you want to be careful with how much detail you go into your assignments. You could talk generally like how the course is going, whether it was challenging, what maybe parts of it made it challenging. But as soon as you start talking about your solutions, your strategies, your answers to certain things, that might go into territory of, issues around plagiarism if somebody else takes that information, or basically like cheating or whatever they call it. So just be careful with showing too much information online about your assignments or talking too much about it. I think it's okay to talk about certain topics that show up in that course. If you go to a web page for the Teachers College on the Masters of Curriculum and Instruction, generally they have a document that outlines, it's almost like a booklet that an online booklet that describes the general the general topics that show in the courses. If you read that and it's available, then you should be able to talk about those things, but they don't go into super detail. They're not saying you're going to be writing about this and this and this in your performance assessment. They're going to say you're going to be dealing with these topics, like this type of theory, and they, again, keep it quite general. So I think whatever's in those booklets, then that's fair game to talk about. But again, it gets complicated because, again, in Google, course of study document, those are more detailed, but those are open to the public. But again, the manager said that shouldn't be available. So those are the pieces that I discovered by asking questions, and I hope that informs you of what to be careful about or what you feel comfortable sharing. And let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them below.